This is episode 96 of the Wilderness Locals podcast. On this episode, our guest is Kip Fulks. Kip's an avid hunter. He has a brewery. He's the co-founder of Under Armour, and now he's gone on to partner up and help develop the product line over at Orgin USA. Kip's a chronic overachiever and just like a really cool dude to chat with. I think you guys will enjoy this. I really did. This podcast is brought to you by Kifaru International. Kifaru makes absolutely bomb-proof gear that is second to none. Kifaru.net, folks. There are a few groups in North America that put boots to the ground, like the Wild Sheep Society of BC. Contrary to popular belief, Wild Sheep Society BC isn't just about sheep. The majority of their projects benefit a variety of ungulates and other wildlife. Check them out at www.wildsheepsociety.com. Great folks over there. I'm a Monarch member. You should be too. And as always, go check out our friends over at Just Shooting Arrows. Just Shooting Arrows is BC's premier archery shop.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize you guys were in Canada.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yep. Canadian
Done a lot
boys.
of time up there over the years.
I've seen that, man. It's a fun spot. I think we both love it, eh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I started my career up there playing professional lacrosse. I used to go to Calgary and Vancouver to play indoor.
There you
Nice.
go. Yeah, I grew up playing box lacrosse.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about.
Fun stuff. About as violent as it gets, eh?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Drop the gloves. Let's do this.
Right on, man. That's cool. So where do you live, Kip?
I'm in Maryland on the East Coast.
Nice.
Okay.
That's where Under Armour's global headquarters is. So I've been here for about 25 years, but I'm not from here.
No. Where'd you start out?
I was born in Utah. My dad is from Montana, and he's a Marine. So we traveled a bunch.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then, I mean, I don't want to make this a Kip biography podcast here. I mean, I don't know how much of this podcast you listen to. This isn't mostly just guys sitting down and bullshitting about hunting and stuff they care about, right? But it'd be cool just to give everybody kind of the Kip backstory real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to start Under Armour when I got out of college. I played college lacrosse at University of Maryland, and then played professional. And while I was playing professional, we started this company out of my partner's grandmother's basement called Under Armour. And we lost about 17 grand in business our first year. And I did kind of every job known to mankind. And when I left, we were about $5 billion and 7 employees and about 30 offices around the world. So fucking crazy, made in America, dream story. I don't even fucking think about it because I'm just like, what am I doing today type guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Was that was Under Armour kind of something that was, born out of necessity for you guys?
Yeah, my partner Kevin came up with the idea. He was a football player and he wanted something tight to wear under the football pads. And at first it was football, hockey, and lacrosse, and it was worn under your pads because everybody at that time was wearing cotton T-shirts. Mm. We stole some fabrics from some other categories. Some people like in the mountaineering space that were starting to use performance fabrics, and then some other industries that weren't even using it for apparel. And we put something together that no one had done before. And then next thing you know, 29 years later, the whole performance apparel thing seems like, oh yeah, performance apparel. It's like, yeah, we started that.
That's wild, eh? I remember when Under Armour really kind of gained traction. When I was real young. I'm 35. So, I mean, I think when you guys really gained traction up here, I was probably, I don't know, like 10 years old or something, right? But like I was saying, I grew up playing lacrosse and like A hockey, and it was like everybody had that stuff back in the day. Everybody.
Yeah, one of my teammates actually that played with me on indoor, Matt Shearer, he's from Whitby out in Toronto, and he moved to Canada quickly, started our Canadian distribution, and he's responsible for all that across Canada. He did a hell of a job. He literally just retired the other day, and I don't know, I think Canada's $500 or $600 million in Under Armour, and he did it all himself. He's just a lacrosse player from Whitby.
That's wild. I mean, that's cool. We talk about it on here on this podcast a lot about how like kind of all good things like businesses and podcasts or whatever, they're all kind of born out of necessity and these products of people's passion. And you kind of, whenever I hear you talking about Under Armour, you kind of tell that's what it was for you guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, we just thought, well, why doesn't everybody have these products? It's better than what's being used out there. And of course, we had some big ideas about how big it would be, but for me itself, I never dreamt it would be anything that quite amazing. And my partner, I'll give him a lot of credit. He Kevin Plank, he wanted to be big from the beginning. Mm-hmm. We used to be like not taking paychecks and couldn't pay ourselves because we had to buy fabric, and he'd be like, one day we're going to be bigger than Nike. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. Can I get my $220?
Can I get dinner, bro? Like,
but it is, and that's, I grew up kind of a pretty humble military family. And so like things to me matter. Like my mom made our clothes. We always had a garden in the backyard. And we traveled a lot, so we were always the new kids. We lived in some crazy places. So I don't know, product and things to me were really important most of the time because I didn't fucking have them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I love making product, and it's my passion. I do it now as like a career. Like I know how to make pretty much anything.
That's a good segue.
Yeah, let's do this.
So where are we at now?
I mean, I started my own hop farm. I make my own beer, Big Truck Brewery, and I partnered up with the Orgin guys, Jocko, Pete, who's the owner, mm-hmm. and Pete Roberts. And then we brought Cam on board. Cam's now a partner, and we're freaking going to dominate the hunting space.
I love it. Mm-hmm. I had Cam on.
We're going to dominate him. We're going to throw that cheap Chinese crap in the trash. And I have to say, bar is high, because there's some great products now. I mean, at Under Armour, I was the first to start performance fabrics in hunting. Everybody's like, QU, Sitka. I'm like, yeah. We did that before them. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And they've done a great job, bigger and better than Under Armour. So the bar is high. I understand where the bar is at. So we got to make some nice shit.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it's got to work.
Yeah, we had Cam on the podcast. I don't know. I talked
about it. He was stoked. He said you guys were great.
Right on, man. Yeah, he's an awesome dude. Like just the nicest human on earth, eh?
Yeah. I mean, the last thing I do is call Cam nice. I mean, I think he's an animal.
Well, that's
he's very cool, and he's a hard worker. But yeah, he's determined, and sometimes determined can come off not nice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, for sure. Yeah, we talked about that. So one of the things that I've seen guys asking, floating around on social media and stuff like that about Origin is how does a company set out to do what you guys are trying to do, made in America, and hit a price point that guys are going to want to play ball at?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest question we've gotten through the Origin Instagram as well. For sure. So, thanks for not fucking around and getting right to it. I think that's a tricky slope, right?
Yeah.
We're going to be how good the stuff is, and then we're going to be judged on how cheap they can buy it for. And those two things don't go together.
No.
I could name off some really nice products that everybody in the outdoor space, whether it be packs, vinyl harnesses, rifles, bows, I can name off the best of the best, and none of them are cheap.
Yep, that's right.
But we're not going to be cheap. And so if guys are like looking for affordable stuff, like affordable is a term that you need to really think about. I think we'll have some items like our basic t-shirt and some basic wool and a nice fleece that are like really, really good price points. But when you're talking about a soft shell jacket or a revolutionary whole item that's never been made before, yeah, those pieces will be a little bit more pricey, you know?
Yeah. We can talk about it offline later, but I have a background in manufacturing, and when I brought my kind of big product to market back before I sold that business, a lot of people told me, they're like, "Oh, you're crazy! You can't sell that for that much money. It's outside the realm of possibility. You know, people aren't going to do it." And it started an entire trend, right? And I kind of looked at it like this, like, you know, that old saying, right? You can get cheap, you can get good, you can get fast or efficient or whatever. You pick two. You know, you can't have cheap and the best shit. They're not exclusive to each other, right?
Yeah, the violin plays really, really good when the strings are tight. The violin shit when it's loose. So the tension between things like quality and price or durability and softness.
There you go.
Like those tensions create great product. And so we're going to have some good stuff at good price points, but I'm right behind you. Like at Under Armour, hey, everybody was selling $8 cotton t-shirts and ours was $33. And then people took you're never going to sell that. And we're like, yeah, but it's a better product.
Well, go ahead, Wacey.
Well, I think people will pay for good products. You see that in every aspect. That's from broadheads to arrows to camo to anything. As long as it's the best and it's going to work good, you know?
Yeah, I think we have some good stuff, like some good fleece, some nice base layer, some good microfiber on the first skin or the first layer. We got some really innovative stuff that nobody has in this wool category with wool blend. And, you know, those are going to be a little bit more pricey than people are used to, but literally it's never been done before. And the hunting experience with some of these products, I think, are game changers. You can bring less with you. You can have more confidence that you have the right stuff for multi conditions. And you have a tried and true antimicrobial warm when it's wet. Wool just does so much, you know, but wool can be a little scratchy. It can be a little heavy at times. And so we found a really, really innovative product. Honestly, it's never been used before. The only time it's been used is on Special Forces gloves inside of a glove.
Wow.
Hands cold, and having wool against the hand is good because when it gets wet, it doesn't get cold. You can't operate machinery, rifles, guns, and bombs when your hands are frozen.
For sure.
Yeah.
I did go ahead.
Some of that is, you know.
Yeah. I did a February goat hunt this year, and my shit was frozen. There was not doing a lot of stuff. Yeah.
What ended up happening on that hunt that made you cold? I'm curious to know.
Hands and feet.
And was it weather conditions, crossing streams, rain?
Weather. It was
just
like,
cold to be.
Yeah, it was like negative 26 to negative 32 the whole trip. It sucked.
Yeah.
It's
a
just
little bit of sweat will kill you.
Oh yeah, and I'm a sweaty guy, and it was for me it was managing my moisture layers, and
that's where wool is worth its weight, man.
Mm-hmm. And it's part of it for me was a little bit of inexperience too, you know, like
sure,
maybe making some poor decisions on when to be moving layers around and stuff like that. So
yeah, I'm pretty religious. I'll change out things quickly, stop my hunt, and get appropriate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I had an issue with my feet freezing up, and I guess what happened is my feet got real sweaty on the way up, and then we stopped for not that long, and then got going again. I was like, oh, I got an issue with my feet. We better stop. I peeled my boot off, and I had ice on my sock, you know, and it was like we fired up we got a fire going and stuff. But one of the other dudes on that hunt kind of had the same situation going on and didn't realize it and ended up with a black toe. So
yeah, I've been there. I was in about -17 and it was actually out on the plains of Colorado.
Oh wow.
And we had to hike some sand hills. And I carry an extra pair of wool socks in my pack, and I had the same thing. My feet sweat like, you know, like it's in the jungle, and my feet were frozen. I'll stop and change quickly the minute I feel it. I just know it's going to be a problem if I don't get those wet socks off.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, we were on a stalk on a bow hunt, and then you sit for 3.5 hours.
Yep. That's right. Say again?
Did you kill?
No, not on that hunt. We didn't. Me and Wacey were in there in August, and we pulled out a little early on that one. And then we went back in February, and I found the billy that I was on in August, and he was on the other side of some really, really nasty avalanche chutes that we actually we're pretty sure they dropped between days while we were there. So it was good. We didn't go cross them. So.
Yeah, that's a whole other level right there.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. It was an experience. It's not a hunt I think anyone could kind of just jump into, right? I had some really, really experienced guys with me, so that was cool.
Yeah, you're touching on an interesting topic, which is like there's a lot of hunting out there, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you can live in Southeast Texas and be a hardcore hunter. You could be up in BC. You could live in AK. You could just be on the plains in Kansas. You could be in the Midwest. You could be in Pennsylvania, which is the largest armed army in the world, the opening day of deer season with 2 million people wearing orange jackets. So, okay, how do you make product to go across all that range? And we just had to really pick a core line that covered a good part of it. But of course, season 1, you can't cover all of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard. We have a good line that I think is going to go across a lot of categories. Mm-hmm. And we do camo patterns, what we're calling woodland and raptor. One's kind of more of a western open, and one's more of a deciduous green and hardwood. But we can't, you know, some guy sent me a note the other day on Instagram. He's like, you better be ready for fucking 106 in Arizona. I'm like, dude, I didn't make product for 106 in Arizona. Like, that's called the extreme.
Yeah, that's just it. The patterns you guys have made just look absolutely badass.
I know. I wish we were on FaceTime. I brought a shirt right here, but I'll have to send you guys some stuff. I took my dad's old tiger stripe from Vietnam.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, Kip. I was like, I didn't want to say it, but I was like, man, that looks close to tiger stripe, which I fucking love tiger stripe, man. That's a gangster pattern.
So cool.
Oh yeah, I mean the Western one is really, really dope. I mean, I fucking think it's one of the best. I did the Ridge Reaper camo at Under Armour and had my hands in that the entire time with a guy named Nico Johnson. Cool. Designers. And I think that pattern is one of the best out there. This one is going to give its run for its money. They're sweet, man. They work. You know, I still got to do some testing in different environments, but like anything up in the pole pines, anything in the aspens, anything in the hardwoods, like, and then once you get out on some open grassy areas, like a little bit of elk hunting in the Rockies, we got you fucking covered, man.
Yeah, I was looking at it. It just looks great. Like where me and Wacey live, we have everything from, like the open plains down south in Alberta to, the Rockies to the desert in the middle of BC, and then, excuse me, and then the North Country and everything. Like we're from dark green to like dead. So I think that stuff will work awesome.
You guys got all that grassland and farmland. That's really light colored, and then getting up like where I hunt with Johnny Rivets. I mean, it's darker than shit.
Yeah. He's a cool cat too, eh? I got to get him on here at some point.
I mean, the dude slays some bears.
Yeah,
God.
No doubt. I have somewhere around here in my office, I have one of his moose calls that I got from him. Pretty cool, dude.
His camp is the last camp until you have endless forests to the Arctic.
Really?
He's just the bush after him. It's crazy.
That's weird.
And the funny thing that really tweaks me out now, he's up by Slave Lake, north of Slave Lake. They're starting to get grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
Grizzly.
Go ahead, Wacey.
Well, he lives an hour north of me, where I'm at, so we're pretty close to each other. So yeah.
So where are you?
I'm just in a little town called Whitecourt. I'm just south. You'd travel through here to get to there, probably.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Yeah. We do get grizzlies. They've always been around, but they're really starting to move now because like all them older boars that were in the bigger timber country are pushing out younger boars. So now they're coming into like residential areas and shit. So I actually had a buddy who hit a big grizzly with his pickup here a few years ago. So they're starting to move
Johnny's
out.
Like, we're walking into the bait site, it's pitch black. And I'm like, so they're south of the lake, but not north of the lake. And he's like, yeah. Well, I'm like, Jesus, Johnny.
I mean,
they're fun on trail cameras, but they're a little unnerving to walk into a bait not knowing what that sound is. Because most of the time when we walk in on the bait, there's bears on bait.
Yeah. I don't know how much time you spent down south here in BC, but historically, there hasn't been grizz near any of the cities. And now with everything going on over here too, like there's grizz like, right in Whistler, like the ski resorts, and down in the Chilliwack Valley, there's grizzly now. And I mean, they were there, 100 some odd years ago or whatever, but they got kind of pushed out with folks, right? But they're coming back.
Must be really thriving. I mean, I've hunted a bunch in Drumheller all the way into, out to some of the Rockies. So, I mean, I've been there enough to know, but that's a cool story, but also kind of interesting to see how that unfolds,
Yeah.
People get killed every year here. We got 2 people, I think, got killed by grizzlies last year. So it's a thing.
Yeah, my dad, Great Falls, Montana, and I grew up in the backcountry, really fishing. My dad was a Vietnam vet. He kind of shied away from hunting after the war. So we fished and we waterfowled. I didn't start bow hunting until I was in college, but, we dealt with grizzlies my whole young career as a backpacker. It's nuts. Some scary stuff. I used to really, really bother me about being in grizzly country. Now I kind of find myself going back every year. I'll be grizz hunting here in another 3 weeks.
Ah, right on. The shitty thing for us is we can't carry a handgun up here.
Well, you can, but you can't legally.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You can do whatever you want, but you're going to catch some shit. So, we'd get in big trouble for that up here. We get stopped quite a bit, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you. I wouldn't push it. I mean, Johnny and I walked in, and I'm a shotgun guy, so hey, that works. Nice short shotgun.
Yep.
Cam, of course, doesn't carry anything because he just wants to fight it with his hands.
I could see that with him.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
Man, that's awesome. So, like, I don't want to get too far away from. I do want to talk just bullshit and talk about other stuff too. But what's kind of? Oh, this will be a bad question. But what's kind of the timeline like on Origin? Everybody's so excited, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think come July we'll launch some of our first pieces, and then really August, September, the meat of the line will get out there. You know, you touched on it before. How does a company go and do this? Well, it's really hard.
Yeah,
we're finding to get the innovative fabrics that we want and the camo print that we want, the supply chain and all of the manufacturing components. It's just tough. And hey, everybody and their mother right now is trying to make stuff in the United States. So rush to kind of get every type of products. And I'm not just talking because the supply chain from Asia is unreliable right now. And so all these companies are really jockeying for position. So I would say it would have launched all at June 1, but we've just had some delays and we've just kind of dealing with it and trying to make the best decision. One
thing that I always notice following Pete and watching Origin kind of, I don't know the word, evolve or grow, is I notice for a clothing company, they do a phenomenal amount of manufacturing in-house, eh?
Yeah, I mean, that's really that separates them. And he just bought 2 new facilities. So they got Maine and they have 2 facilities in North Carolina that they're consolidating into one big ass, badass place, which we were just down there.
Rad.
But yeah, I mean, this stuff is not like, this is going to be sewn by Origin. This isn't like, hey, we came up with ideas and we found some people to help us sew it.
Yeah.
We will use a couple other folks for some specialty stuff, but I'd say 90% of it's going to be sewn by Origin, and they're good at what they do.
That's wild, man. I was watching, I can't remember what it was, kind of getting some Origin backstory a while ago when we first started chatting and we were talking about doing this podcast. I was like, I should learn more about Origin, more than my basic knowledge. Right. And, me and my wife were watching it and it was a video of Pete, like buying, the machinery to make denim for jeans. It's like, holy shit. Most people would just go buy rolls of that stuff. Right.
If you knew the type of detailed work it took to get some of these knitting machines back online, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. And they're pumping out some really amazing stuff, both in their gis, their jiu-jitsu line, the hunting line obviously coming, and then their hoodies and their jeans. I mean, they basically can't keep it in stock.
Yeah.
They're struggling up with it.
It's a great problem.
Yeah, it's a good problem.
That's wicked, man. I'm excited and I'm really stoked to see to see how like everything that comes, and I know it'll be cool, but I'm pumped, man. I love seeing, it doesn't even matter the space. I just love seeing guys innovate and push the envelope, right?
It's funny. I've made a lot of hunting product, and some of the other competitors, they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of styles.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck do I buy? And what do I buy? And they've done themselves a disservice. They have too many SKUs. Like, you don't need all that shit, man. You know what happens when you go on these hunts. You have like a favorite pant, a favorite base layer, some rain gear, some good mid layers, and maybe a good puffy for emergency. And you fucking wear the same shit every day. Why do I need 60 items?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to toughen the fuck up. We have enough for you. But you're going to have to be tough.
I like this. That's
every time someone's like, oh, will you make a side zipper for venting? I'm going to send a picture of a dude in a freaking Canadian mullet with a plaid and jeans in a monster Saskatchewan whitetail. I'd be like, it shot that in the 70s with none of this shit. What's your fucking problem?
Yeah.
I'm serious. Or so used to getting everything specifically the way they want it, and it's wrong. They don't need that much stuff. They're wasting money. Soccer ball.
Man, that's funny. I feel like we might have grown up similar ways, man. Like I remember like, you know, playing sports and out with my old man and, you know, being in the bush, like, Dad, I'm thirsty. You know, like, I don't know, like little kid, like, drink spit.
Yeah. Or, hey, there's a creek over there. Go get us.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we have the right for the right solution, and you can wear it all together or you can wear it in pieces, and you don't need more. Now, extreme conditions, like you were saying, minus 30, minus 40. Yeah, you're going to need some extra stuff. If you're in extreme weather, 106, 110, 115 degrees, you really need to be conscious about other things. But I'm generally speaking, we have the right products for you. I know what the layering system has to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. You have a formula that you've worked out over the years that you know will work.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know, like, you know, like 9 times out of 10, the rainwear's in the bottom of the bag for when it starts dumping on you. You're not going to wear rainwear around unless you just live in, like, you know, jungle conditions where it's raining all the time.
That's me.
Most of the time, guys pull it out of the bag when it's nasty. Most of the time, you can get around with a few other items. And you're going to live in that base layer. So the base layer's got to be comfy. And then the wool layer, a lot of times wool gets too hot. I think we have a wool that's really breathable that you're going to be able to wear a long time and in a bunch of different temperatures.
That's awesome.
As you can tell, I'm a little geeked out on it, so I don't want to go on and on. I want to make sure you guys, and you guys, customers, people that listen, you know, like you said, price is a big question. I don't know what else people are asking.
I mean, the price thing that I brought up, I just wanted to bring it up because I've seen guys asking, and I've like I said, I've been there myself in my own businesses over the years, and it's just one of those things. I think it's important to kind of get out there. Like, look, if it's more money than other stuff, there's a reason for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think some brands right now are charging a lot of money, and I don't see the reason.
The whole, I wanted to, just before we got off that layering thing, I think the whole layering, the technical clothing side of things is fairly new, right? You know, so I think a lot of guys are just, they really geek out on it, you know? So it's a new thing, but, sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming. Hey, like my dad, he's 70 and he still goes sheep hunting in the mountains and wears a rain slicker and sleeps under a fucking tree with Wranglers. So, you know, that's how
that's a
guys
good layer.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be my picture of, you know, your old man, and say, you don't need more product. You got enough here. I think you're right. It is complicated. And so hopefully, and you guys can give us feedback once we go to market, is we're just going to try to be shit simple with it.
I was just
not have too much to make a decision.
Yeah. I was just going to say with the layering thing, I think with the magnitude of products on the market right now, I think like having a guy like you, Kip, or like we're buddies with Barklow from Sitka there too, right? But having guys like you guys that are just wild about this stuff, and having an expert be able to be like, hey, like this is what you need. This is it, right? Like this is the system. Use this. No, that's too complicated, right? Because like a lot of guys trying to figure it out on their own. I mean, guys end up with these wild ass systems that are way too heavy and way too complicated and way too actually hard to execute.
My job is I've gone into the woods with a bunch of prototypes that didn't fucking work. So like brands are supposed to be experts. Brands are supposed to be innovators. Brands are supposed to be leaders. Okay. And each individual person can't be that as well. But our job is to bring you a solution if you've really thought it through. And we'll try to like make it easy with some good product videos and some good selling points on, like you said, here's what we think. Here's how we think you should use it. These are the type of conditions we made it for. These are the type of hunts we thought about. And there's definitely going to be people who ask a lot of questions, but pretty simple. We don't have a lot. And because we don't have thousands. I've been there, dude. I've been to Asia, to the mills. I've sat in the showrooms. They show you thousands and thousands and thousands of fabrics. Which one do you want? Like, that's not in the U.S., man.
That sounds like my nightmare.
We're struggling just because the supply chain's not here.
Yeah. I think if there's guys that will figure it out, it's you guys, though, eh?
Yeah. I give a lot of credit to Pete and the team we have. I'm super pumped to be a part of it. And, look, it's Pete, Jocko, Cam, and I. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's the, like...
Stream team.
Yeah, like, holy shit, sign me up.
No doubt.
Yeah. I was actually trying to get my hands on a tiger stripe coat. Never could find one. So I love that. I love that. That's what your pattern's kind of based off of,
Yeah, I think, for you guys, you could definitely use both patterns, but I would lean towards the woodland one, which is a little bit greenier, a little bit more gray and dark. It's hard when you're out in those open flats. Anything's going to stick out. But I always say green can always look like a bush.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think you'll like the tiger stripe. I was hoping we were going to be on FaceTime, but I will send you guys some pics of this sample I'm sitting with.
Rad. That'll be awesome. I saw the other day you guys you completed your first real piece, like finalized it, signed off on it, eh?
Yeah, fabric be delivered like any day, and we'll be sewing. So there'll be our basic long sleeve, our basic T-shirt, and our basic boxer brief are all done and in production here in the next couple weeks. So we're just going to discuss, are we going to sell those early, or are we going to wait until we get a few more of the layering systems so we can kind of sell things together? So we haven't decided that yet.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
It's really solid fabric. It's a workhorse.
That's wicked. Did we miss anything on Origin before we start bullshitting about hunting? I want to hear about this grizzly hunt you're going on.
No, I mean, the only thing I'd say about Origin is there's very few. Everybody says they're going to change the world. Very few people set out and actually do it with hard work, and that's what Origin's about. And bringing manufacturing and jobs back to this country, and even hopefully inspiring people up in Canada to do the same. But for us in the States, man, we let the largest transfer of wealth in the history of man without a war is all the money we've given to China through buying goods from them. And it's turned the world upside down. So we got to write the course, and someone's got to start. So that's the only thing I'd plug about them, and that's why I'm passionate about it. But yeah, let's talk hunting, man. I live it. I'm infatuated. I got a bunch of hunts and a bunch of tags, and
yeah,
trying to Grizz for the fourth time with my bow. It hasn't happened yet, so I'll be back here May 20th.
That's in Alaska?
Yep.
Nice. That's cool. Who are you going with?
I hunt with a guy named Lance Kronberger. He's probably one of the most accomplished bear guides in Alaska. I think he's been doing it 33 years. He does it down the peninsula, but I'm actually hunting grizz in up north across the bay from Nome, Alaska. So I'm way up there.
So fly in like cub kind of style, spot and stock.
land on a mountaintop, and we hoof about 2.5, 3 hours to a camp that's top of a mountain, which is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, until you have to go hunt a grizzly because you have to bail off the mountain every time. 9 hours into a stalk that didn't work, and you look back up to the top of the mountain, you got to remember that's where your camp is.
Oof.
That sucks.
Brutal. Yeah, brutal. But big boars, lots of bears. We probably see between 5 and 10 bears a day.
Wow.
They're mating up at that time, eating a lot of grass. So once you find a big boar on a sow, he'll kind of hang with her for 4 or 5 days, and you can get a beat on him. If he's by himself, he's hard because he's on the move.
Yeah, that's a bucket list hunt of mine. I've always wanted to spot and stalk grizzly with a bow. One day I'll get there, maybe.
Well, I had a hell of a time last year when Cam shot a bow and we went to retrieve it, and the damn thing was still fucking going. And my brother shot it at 3 yards with a 457 lever action.
Ooh.
Yeah, got a little dicey. All on camera.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's insane. That doesn't sound too fun walking up on a grizz with an arrow in it.
No, I mean, Cam was really intent on getting another one in, and he did get another one in, and I think all of us thought that it was going to be done, and it just sprang to action, that their will to live is amazing. And, it's not like they need 20 minutes. They only need about 30 seconds to fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the thing. You always hear about those situations when they go sideways. It's like everything was cool and then it wasn't, right?
Yeah, we got that for sure. The guide tried to shoot one from the hip and didn't hit her. And then my brother had to swing around and thank God he was carrying a wallop of gun. So he hit her and spun her around. So
yeah, it's wild. What else you got planned for this year coming up?
Yeah, I gotta get my elk hunts in. So I got Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona. I got 3 elk hunts. It's all archery for me, so that'll be fun. Then I got a late season Kansas whitey and a late season muley in Colorado. So I'm stacked, man. And then hunting with my boys around here and just having fun hunting some local bears and some whitetails.
Yeah, that's wicked. What's hunting like in Maryland?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of deer, like a shit ton of deer. Like I have a 250-acre farm that our brewery is on. Mm-hmm. The big truck farm is probably has 50 to 60 deer on it every night. We probably have 90 deer per square mile. So, yeah, it's just a lot of deer hunting. Some guys bait, which is legal here, but just a lot of whitetail, a lot of does, some good bucks. A lot of tree stand hunting, a lot of ground blind hunting. I do a lot of spot and stalk in my fields, but no one seems to do that but me. It's fun. Kids love it. It's a lot of action, It's not like you go out and sit and don't see anything. You're going to see 10 to 20 deer. It's just whether you get a shot at them.
That's wicked.
That's awesome.
It's wild on here. We talk to people that live all different places. Like, I think it was yesterday or the day before I had, AJ from Nights of the Apex on. He was talking about hunting in Florida. And it's just like the difference in people's local hunting situation is absolutely astounding.
Yeah, I love it. I love hearing about what guys do. It is. And the way they hunt is got these little difference. I mean, we're all hunting whitetail sometimes, but everybody does it a little bit different,
Yeah, no kidding.
And we got good bears in PA. I mean, behind Alaska, PA is number 2 for record bears.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
Big boars. They shoot 5,000 of them a year. It's usually a 3 to 4 day season, and people just, you can drive them with 20 guys. And now in PA, they changed the law in archery season, you can have a deer tag and a bear tag, which is huge. So if you're sitting in your tree doing hunting in October for some big whitetails and a bear walks on by chewing on acorns, you can take them. So
that's awesome.
You've never been able to do that in PA. It's always been its own season. So Pennsylvania has really done a good job of like listening to the sportsmen and changing some of their laws, and even opening up Sunday hunting, which we haven't had around here in a long time.
Yeah, it's weird, that Sunday hunting thing. We have that in Alberta still, and it's
really
the southern parts. You can't hunt Sundays. And it used to be northern too, but they got rid of that. I remember my dad back in the day; they were all lobbying against it. It's a weird law.
They wanted people to go to church, and knew the guys would go hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maryland still has it. We can't hunt on Sunday. So
it's just wild. I don't understand that.
Hey, you're a local mechanic at the Ford dealership, and you work all week and you're off on the weekends, and your weekend starts at like Friday at 4. You're not going to hunt really Friday night. Maybe you get some time in. You got Saturday and that's it. No Sunday. That's effing bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bizarre rule, and it's still in effect in parts of Alberta. And I don't know the real reason. Like, that's, like you said, I don't know if they want people.
About church and left over. And the problem is all of the liberal people that don't hunt, but make hunting regulations. It's a huge problem in Canada, and it's a huge problem in the United States. People that don't understand wildlife, people that don't hunt, never hunted, and actually are anti-hunters, are making wildlife decisions and hunting decisions. It's something that I'm passionate about. I wish we could change it faster, but it's going to take some time to get the right people in the right places,
Mm, yeah. Yeah, it's a huge problem up here, especially British Columbia.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, no, it's we could get off on a tangent on that for, ever. It's pretty insane up here right now.
What do you guys hunt? What's the big hunts for you guys?
Go ahead, Wacey.
I think in August we're heading into. It was supposed to be caribou, but I think it's just going to be for stone sheep and goats, maybe a little elk mixed in. So, and then not much other than that, man. I'm for myself. I'm just going to pull a moose tag around home, and then just on some muleys and whitetails. It's going to be, and some bears this spring. It'll be pretty casual.
You're casual with someone else's good season, just so you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. For me, I mean, we're doing we're actually doing a jet boat in for the goat, stone, elk hunt thing. And, then I'll be back on mule deer and elk and, bears. And I don't know, in BC, I'm so spoiled here, right? I can hunt all kinds of stuff. Right. And every year we kind of hunt all of it,
You guys hunt muleys down by Drumheller?
I don't know.
Well, we will be. We'll be down south there. I don't know if we'll be around Drumheller, but we'll be, I think, maybe a little more south than that. But yeah, I think in October we're going to go.
Yeah, I love that early season velvet when they're in the beans. Man, that is fun.
I was telling Tyler that, I know a lot of guys with good success on muleys, and they always crop hunt them early season like that, right? And then everything's pretty relaxed. When you go October, it's cold and they're hard horned and everything is really keyed up. So, it's a little bit tougher, but.
And spend a lot of time in the crops, and they can just eat and then lay down. I mean, it's so relaxed for them that they have so much cover when those canola is, 4 feet tall.
Kind of the problem we face, like for me, myself anyways, we're trying to do mountain goat and frickin' moose and everything else. You're trying to hit it all, right? So muleys kind of gets pushed to the back burner a little bit, right? So till you get these other hunts out of the way.
It's kind of like that problem Orgin has where they can't keep anything in stock. We can't decide what we want to go do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like that. I mean, I'm mule deer, elk, mule deer, elk, mule deer, elk. The bear thing for me has been over the last 5 years is a new passion. Obviously, I've been hunting black bears a lot, but the whole grizz and brown bear is God, the more I do it, the more I love it.
Yeah, no kidding.
You'll have to get up for polar bear when you're 2, Kip.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw Randy just did that, right? Right, Wacey?
Yeah, Randy Cooling went up. He said I think he traveled over 20 days for just 2 days of hunting.
Whoa. That's super gnarly.
That's definitely a bucket list. I don't know the rules and regulations, but I'm not sure I can bring it back to the States.
Oh, is that true?
I think they keep it in wet storage. I don't think it can go back across the border.
Yeah, I think what I would do is make a full mound and donate it to Shocky's museum.
Oh, yeah. That's wild. Yeah. I didn't realize that. So if you shoot a polar bear, you can't bring it home now.
No, not to the States. It's an illegal endangered species.
Oh, weird. Yeah. Are they actually endangered?
No.
As ice melts, habitat is less. But, let's face it, whitetail habitat is less. Black bear habitat is less. But I don't know what the population is doing, if it's going up or down. But I know the ice is less. I'm not sure the population.
Huh. That's really interesting. I honestly have never looked into a polar bear hunt whatsoever. I just have so many other things to cross off my list here, right? And that's wild. I didn't realize you couldn't bring it home. That kind of sucks.
Elk hunting for me is, one, they're just so magnificent and fun to hunt. But 2, I mean, it's the best meat. I don't buy red meat. I get 2, maybe 3 elk a year. I have 500 to 700 pounds of elk meat. I never buy red meat. Yeah. I do not. I eat elk or mule deer or whitetail. And so I love elk from selfish. I want to make elk tacos and elk this. So elk hunt to me is kind of top tier.
Yeah, we're struggling with that here. Like, going on some of these northern hunts, it takes away from Wacey's a big moose guy. And I love hunting elk on opener here in September 1st, right? But we're going to be away this year.
Yeah, you got to make your choices, right?
Yeah, that's just it, man. That's awesome. So when did you get into bow hunting? Because you're a hardcore bow guy, right?
Yeah, I obviously known Cam for a good part of 15, 16 years. And obviously he's inspired me more and more. When I met him, I was kind of bow hunting, but not as hardcore. I've been really dedicated over the last 10 years, but I think I shot a bow like when I was 26. I'm 49. So, I grew up with a dad. We did a lot of fly fishing and a lot of pheasant and goose. And then, right out of college, I was so pumped to get back in the woods after playing lacrosse for so long. It's easy to just grab a rifle and go. And I just lost interest in it pretty easily because I just don't find it that challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty athletic. I feel like I can go forever. I'm definitely not Cam Hanes, but, I'm going to go until I'm dead. So I can get in on something and, with a rifle. I know guys make hard shots and I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but, everything is a personal choice. So my personal choice is bow. Having said that, I did shoot my grizzly last year with a rifle. Got him with a high-powered rifle, then followed it up with like 6 shots with a lever action open sights because he was a big bore and was getting a little feisty. So I'm not saying no to rifles, but most of the time it's a bow.
Yeah, that's wicked. We're both archery guys too. I think we both kind of mix it up between archery and the rifle for sure.
It all depends for me whether or not I got to get back to work. I only got so many days off, so I'll bow hunt. I'll bow hunt as long as I can, and then I'm picking up the old long bow.
There you go. Cool, right on, man. Well, that was a real fast hour, eh?
Yeah, no shit. I got all kinds of shit, but I wanted to make sure you guys got enough about the Origin line because I know everybody wants to know about it, and I'm excited about it, and I have a really high expectation of product. Mm-hmm. I know the competition is really good, effing good, so we got to deliver, and so we're just pumped to share it with you guys.
Yeah, Kip, man, I really appreciate it. And thanks for hitting me back up the other day. I meant to reconnect with you, and then we had COVID again and everything else. So no, I thanks for hitting me up yesterday. I was like, let's do this. Oh man,
I figured I dropped the ball, so I wanted to make sure
No, it was me, bro. That was all me.
Hopefully shake hands, look at some product one day, and God bless, get in hunting camp. I would love that. So if I'm up there, I'll hit you guys up.
Yeah, man, for sure. Let's do it. That'd be great.
Hunt down here, let me know.
Hell yeah. I am super excited to see Origin come to market with their hunting stuff, man. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I definitely, when that stuff drops, I definitely want to get you back on here to talk about it. And yeah, next time too, I kind of want to talk to you about like, you're one of those guys too that's just driven. You're always doing something wild and working really hard, and it'd be cool to talk about that a bit too. So lots to talk about, but I think we covered I think this is a good intro to Kip and intro to Origin, eh? Yeah.
Nice job, guys. And pleasure to meet you guys. Let's do it again. And I'll get you some samples next time, and so we can both look at it together and talk.
That would be awesome. Love that.
Thanks for having me on the podcast, guys.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave us a review. You can follow us on Instagram at Wilderness Locals. If you want to support the podcast, please check out the gear, articles, and whatever else we're up to on the website at www.wildernesslocals.net.